What did we get ourselves into?
This is going to be quite the project.
What the heck?
What have we got ourselves into?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah, whole team's rolling in. Austin and his team are going to spend the next about 30 minutes unloading all of their equipment. One thing that we have to emphasize is the fact that since the beach fungus and the ash borer compromise the structural integrity of the tree, this is something that we are not comfortable doing at all. So we have hired professionals. Their team is going to take great care of us, and they're going to make pretty quick work of these trees. But if we were to cut these down, there's far too many hazards in our way, and someone would likely get hurt. So they're bringing some cool equipment out, and hopefully it makes for a pretty entertaining video. If you missed our last video, we have about 55 trees that need to be removed in the next 3 days. This is going to be quite the project. Definitely not what we wanted to do right whenever we bought this cabin, but it's something that we overlooked a little bit, and now we're going to fix it.
We're excited to see these guys work. We have met the owner of the business, and he is just amazing. You guys have already heard him, and you'll hear more of him just talking about everything. Great guy. So we're excited to take you guys along these next 3 days and watch them do what they do best.
We were able to get a ton of before shots, and then obviously we will film the whole process, and then we'll kind of walk you guys through afterwards and take it in ourselves while showing you guys. So it's going to be a project.
Let's get to it.
As the team works around the property, they're going to do it in kind of stages. That way we can maintain this place a little bit better, and it just kind of gives them an easier route to work on. They're going to start with the front of the cabin and then move their way back towards the end of the property. That way if they can't get everything done, they can just drop those trees back there. Initially we did talk about just having all the trees dropped and not doing anything with them. It would have been a little bit cheaper, but since we don't have any equipment on this property, it would have been a very big hazard trying to get the trees untangled. There's a lot of compression and tension that ends up in the branches, and if we're just trying to move that by hand, we could have ended up being seriously injured through there. So we worked out 3 days with them, and they're going to do everything they can in these 3 days. This team is very efficient, and we've heard nothing but great things about them. So we're excited for the change in this property. It's going to be crazy, and I think tree number 1 is about to go down, so we're going to go to a bunch of different cameras and watch these guys work. Also, we're trying out a couple different microphones that we picked up. So we have the little DJI lapel mics that are wireless, so we each have one of those on, and then we have a new mic for our main camera. So if there's some spots that are a little interesting, it's because we're still trying to work out the kinks here. So figured the best way to do that is around a bunch of heavy machinery.
Yeah, of course. And if you hear unnecessary commentary, we apologize. Tree number 1, 54 more to go. Crazy.
Felt that one. Tree number 1, hopefully going into the chipper. These guys are working so incredibly fast. It is only 8:30 and they have 7 trees down and already processed through the chipper. Now these are the easy trees that they can just go ahead and drop and feed right through. Some of these larger, more compromised trees, they're gonna have to put ropes up, use the winch on that little fun green machine, pull those down. So that process is going to eat up a ton of time. So they're just trying to get some of this small stuff out of the way that's a direct hazard for where we park cars. And I mean, obviously it's right next to the cabin as well. And we're trying to stay out of these guys' way as much as possible. They're being very friendly and very generous to let us film. And we're gonna film them some kind of promotional clips for their business as well. I'm just impressed. It's fun to watch. This is such cool equipment and definitely gives me confidence that we did make the right decision. We would have been extremely unprepared, or we would have spent just as much, if not more money, trying to rent equipment, learn on it, and these guys just know what they're doing. They're rocking it.
This is mound number 1, day 1.
You wasn't kidding about us having a bunch of wood chips. That's only like 5 or 6 trees. Wow, that is a lot of wood chips. What's that? I'd like to take a minute to thank AG1 for sponsoring today's video. Between living on the road full-time and now living in the woods, we are constantly looking for ways to improve our overall health. With AG1, Amelia and I are confident we're providing our body with the daily foundational nutrition we need to support whole body health. Over the last month, we have used AG1 daily and love the simplicity of receiving baseline whole body nutrition all within the first few minutes of our morning. In just one scoop or travel packet, there are 75 vitamins, minerals, superfoods, and probiotics aimed to support our brain, our gut digestion, and our immune system. The pineapple and vanilla flavor is a tasty way to start our day, and when we're moving fast on projects like this one, it is one of the best things we can do for our health in 60 seconds. Right now, using the QR code on screen, you can receive AG1's Immune Support Bundle, which includes a year supply of AG vitamin D3 and K2 oils and 5 bonus travel packs. Our goal has always been to live life large, and supporting our health with AG1 is a long-term investment in our future for everything that life throws at us. Like this. And removing 55 trees from our cabin. Thank you again to our friends at AG1 for sponsoring today's video. We'll see you guys back at the chipper.
As you can see behind me, they are moving everything into the back of the house. They finished majority of this section. There's still a few, but these are the ones that if they can't get to them in the next 3 days, they're just going to leave them because they're not a high priority like the ones in the back. The ones in the back are the scary ones. I don't know if Connor's told you yet, but they do have to rope them. They can't use their machinery because they are so dead and rotten. They don't want to risk their guys going all the way up there and having it snap on them or anything awful like that. So they are really taking their safety as a top priority, and we couldn't be more thankful for that. We don't want anything to happen on this job. And yeah, I think that's going to be the most exciting part for me, just seeing how they get those down, roping, and just the technique they do. So I think you guys will get excited too. Let us know what you guys think so far. This is just the beginning of day 1 and a lot is being done. Nice. If you're wondering about Barkley, he's right here inside hanging out with his bear. We just leave some music on for him so he doesn't hear all the really loud construction noise outside. We're also wearing headphones just to protect our ears when we're outside, but he seems pretty content We can't keep him outside, obviously, because it's just so much going on and would not want anything to happen to him. So he's just hanging inside.
They just dropped these 4 trees here in the middle, and now they're all standing outside talking, trying to get a plan together as to what to do next, where to put these other ones, and then the holes that are going to open up once they start clearing all these trees out. It's really cool watching them use the excavator to push against a tree. That way they can make sure that it leans exactly the way they want it to, and they can drop that thing anywhere they want. It's pretty impressive to watch, and I'm having a great time flying the drone, watching it from overhead, and seeing these guys do what they do best.
I also think you guys can tell from my breath that it is pretty cold out today. It wasn't as cold this morning, but it's gotten really damp and dewy outside, and it's showing about 38 degrees. So these guys are working really hard. They're probably not as cold as we are. I threw a puffy on because I said earlier that we should do a timestamp. Connor just looked at his phone, and they've only been here for 2 hours, and they've probably cut down at least 15 trees. There's definitely some ones that were in the way when they had to remove them, but for the most part, 15 big trees. Holy crap. And not only did they cut down 15 trees, they've also chopped them all up and made piles for us. We told them that was okay if you guys are worried about them just totally ruining our lawn. We said, hey, whatever makes you work faster to cut the trees down to save us some money, we would love to do that. That's why we are letting them put it just in our lawn. And honestly, it'll help us with the trails we want to make, help our front yard, and put it around our trees. So hopefully that'll make them last a little longer.
So in order to save one of these younger hemlocks back here with a tree that is basically snapped all the way through, just waiting to fall over, they had to rope it, use a snatch block to a healthy tree over one side, and then attach it to this little green machine and yank it backwards. That way, as it cut, it snaps in half and falls basically on top of each other. I don't think I got a very good shot of it, but that way it's minimal damage to the hemlock tree that live for hundreds of years and grow beautiful all year long. So very appreciative that they're taking care of the trees that we're trying to save here. Obviously, some of them will get damaged and they may have to cut some out of their way, but they're really impressive what they can actually keep, and we're very appreciative of that.
That's what I was saying up there. It'll fling them. And sometimes they'll grab a branch and it'll pull a tree back, and then it uses the whole tree as like a slingshot. And just fling it. Yeah.
Yeah, trees are dangerous. Now we're starting to get into the really complicated stuff. This one tree was snapped at the top. It was an ash leaning into a dead beech. Probably took them 15 minutes just to get that one tree down. They had to run a rope over to a winch. They had to make the tree snap in the middle, that way it can drop down over here. Just a very delicate process, and watching these guys do it is amazing. everything's calculated. It's all supposed to go and does go exactly where it needs to. They're being very, very cautious because some of these trees are extremely dangerous to take down. It's exactly why we have the professionals out here doing this, and hopefully we can kind of talk to them a little bit and get their thoughts onto what you're doing in a scenario, how you kind of read a tree, read a drop. It's really, really cool. On to the next one, I guess. While the team is taking their lunch break, I'm going to kind of walk you around some of the stuff that they've done and kind of talk you through what he was just saying here. Here was the beech that had some really nasty stuff in the middle of it, and this is the hemlock that we were trying to protect. So when they came, it snapped in half because they were able to pull it right there. That way it drops this way and then snaps back against it. You can see all the mushrooms and fungus that are growing on this tree, which means that it was severely ready to go. Also, you can tell right here it was ready to go because woodpeckers have been just eating it through, and that tree was still standing. From here on out, the process does get a lot slower because the majority of these trees now are structurally compromised. So it's going to be a lot of ropes, a lot of pulling to make sure the trees go the right way they are, and a lot of just careful precautions. That way these guys can stay safe doing what they're doing. They have a pretty good idea of where the tree is going to go and what's going to happen as they pull, and it's just a lot to do. Definitely nothing we could have done by ourselves, but now that we're going to have this place cleared, we can maintain it a whole lot easier. So we'll start doing some select growth stuff, and it's just going to be a good way for us to put our touch on this property. We're really excited to regrow it and just kind of give back to this land because it's a really cool piece, and we're so excited to have it and to live here. So we're going to take good care of it, and this is just one of those steps we need to do in order to get it healthy enough so that we can take care of it. Hey, look at this, come here. Kind of fun, huh? So it turns out we did all this just so Barkley can have a playground. I guess that works.
That looks like soup.
That tree was falling. I mean, that was nasty.
What the heck?
What have we got ourselves into?
Oh my god. This is crazy. This is crazy.
It is so hard to believe that it is only 8 hours later, and we have over 30 trees cut and completely chipped here in the yard.
There are some that were too big to fit in the chipper, which is unbelievable. So he's going to haul those out the next other 2 days, I guess. But watching these guys work was A, impressive, B, like a well-oiled machine, and our yard looks so different. We knew it was going to look like this, sadly, but it also is a great thing to know that we are safe. No rotten trees are going to fall on our house or on us if we decide to walk in the backyard. So we definitely made the right decision. I have no regrets.
I know we're going to get a ton of comments of everybody saying, oh my gosh, you wasted so much firewood. Why did you chip all of that? A couple reasons. One, the amount of trees that we already have down in the back of the property is enough firewood to last us for a decade. So adding 55 more trees on top of that, we would have been completely overwhelmed, and they were offering to bring the chipper out, and it made so much more sense just to start with mulch. We can build some awesome walking trails through the back, and trust me, we have plenty of firewood left. Another thing with this is the beech trees, because it is a fungus, it does rot the wood. So if it's already extremely infected, which a majority of these were, the wood will just disintegrate over time. The fungus kills the tree, so then it just eats away the wood. It ends up with like sawdust. You've probably seen it in a couple of the stumps where they're just kind of rounded out.
Literally looks like soup.
Yeah, it's gross. So it's not great firewood anyway. It used to be. Beech was a great hardwood, but since this, it's just not worth us trying to go through the efforts to process it all. But we still have tons of great ash trees that we'll use for firewood. I just can't believe that they got so much done today. It's insane. So over the next video, we're going to cover the next 2 days and show a complete transformation of this place in just 72 hours.
Yep.
It's amazing, and it's definitely the right move because all of these trees were hazardous to the house, to where we park, to us walking around these woods. And it's just going to be a great step in the right direction to get this property turned into something that we love, and we can put our own stamp on what's growing back here and just replant this forest.
I hope you guys stick around for the next video. We will put a little teaser at the end because there is going to be different machinery. This next day is going to be slower, but it's going to be almost more interesting in a little way because they're going to have to take a lot more techniques to get the trees down. And don't worry, there's going to be tons of wood chips.
If you like this kind of video, please let us know down in the comments below. We appreciate you all watching, and we will see you in the next video.
And we love all the new people here. Welcome. Thanks for watching.
All right. Hope you have a large day. We'll see you then.
Bye, guys.